Hello everybody. Hello. Thank you for joining us. My name is Nobu Ide, CEO of Wacom. So I really appreciate you joining the second round of the shareholder meeting of Wacom. So actually a couple hours ago, we just finished the shareholder meeting, the 38th shareholder meetings, Japanese versions in Tokyo. And today, now I'd like to deliver some summarized versions in English, and also together with a whole bunch of engineers, we like to deliver some raw voice of the engineers, our passions and intent, our visions regarding our technology development. So thank you for joining us today. So first of all, I'd like to go through a little bit about our new midterm direction, Chapter 3, some only key points. And after that, I like to do some interview style of the engineering talk to share our passion and intent with shareholders. And after that, we'd like to take some question and answers. So please feel free to give us any questions, comment by chat. All right, let's start. Oh, by the way, I'm broadcasting from our Connected Ink Village, Tokyo. So actually here, this place is the 31st floor of Wacom office, Wacom Tokyo office. At the same time, we decided to open up some a part of Wacom office to the communities under the name of Connected Ink Village. So here, artists, designers, engineers, any guys who are engaging with education, they are getting together here and discussing and collaborating and making some joint innovation. So this is a place of the Connected Ink Village. And we are going to make it happen, this village, not only Tokyo, but Kyoto, Morioka, Düsseldorf, Portland, all over the world, popping up village. So that is also our program which we are working on. I'm going to talk about it later. All right, let's start. So, okay, Chapter 3 visions. So thanks to all the greatest effort and support from shareholders, investors, Chapter 2, we successfully finished with a record high revenue and record high operating profit. And actually 1 year prior to the original plan. So we decided to move on the next chapter, Chapter 3. So the vision of Chapter 3, actually we carrying over the consistent and same vision from Chapter 2, which is lifelong ink. This is our commitment, commitment from Wacom. We like to keep delivering the meaningful experience for human beings and society for the very, very long term, lifelong term. And we really like to make this world more humane through lifelong ink journey. So this vision is very consistent, and we're going to keep it across the Chapter 3. And under this lifelong ink visions, we are trying to implement 5 key strategic initiatives in Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is a fiscal year 39 to 42 for next, 41. Next 4 years, we trying to implement 5 key initiatives. So let me go through briefly one by one. So our key initiative, first initiatives is technology leadership. So this is also we carrying over from Chapter 2, technology innovation, technology development, technology itself is the most important, the source of Wacom value propositions. Whatever we delivered in a whole starting point is technologies. And we really focusing technology innovations, and we keep making investment on technologies. So always technology leadership is our starting point of our value proposition. So this is the first initiatives. Second key initiatives is community engagement. So Wacom's just by ourselves, we cannot develop, we cannot complete our experience. And we need to collaborate with many partners, customers, and communities. So that in Chapter 3 days, community engagement, deeper engagement. Sometimes we are going to create community itself. This is so important, and we are supposed to develop a meaningful experience with partners in communities. So this is a very important key initiatives. Third initiatives is new core technology and new value propositions. So this means as of today, we have very strong and solid core technologies, digital pen and digital ink technologies, and we are doing business based on this. For Chapter 3, next 4 years, we are going to establish the new core technologies on top of this digital pen and digital ink technologies, which is digital ink collaborated with AI, and digital ink collaborated with XR, and digital ink collaborated with security and authentications. So we pick up these 3 sectors as our new core technology development field, and we are going to create new value proposition from these 3 sectors. So this is the third key initiatives. Number 4 is technology innovation for sustainable society, which means we are a technology leadership company. We are going to focus on technology development, but our technology innovation is not just for the maximizing our financial perspectives, financial goal, but our technology innovation should contribute to the sustainable society itself, which we are living. So how we can coexist with partners, customers, users in our society, this is a very important theme for our technology development. This is number 4 initiatives. Number 5, final key initiatives is meaningful growth. So this is very, very important concept in Chapter 3 for Wacom. So which means, of course, we are trying to pursue the financial and economical growth, and we are going to deliver that by all means. But on top of that, not only just a financial growth, we're really trying to explore the variety, many aspects of the growth. How about yourself, individual? What is the meaning for you, for your growth? And how about for users' perspective? How about customers? How about society, community perspective? There would be so many variety of meaningful growth for each party, each persons, each communities. And on top of the financial growth, we really trying to take a journey together to explore meaningful growth for human and society. So this is our very important direction in Chapter 3. So these are 5 key initiatives which we're trying to implement in Chapter 3 of Wacom. And from next slides, I like to share with you some example or some case study representing these 5 key strategic initiatives. So I'm going to rush some couple of our case study, right? So first case study, yes, of course. I hope you know this, the Evangelion, the movie animations. I think it's going to be our start in the overseas very soon. And Wacom, other, the creative instrument providers, we really supporting these animations. And in end roll of this movie, you can find Wacom logo, and Wacom team members always say, wow, Wacom is supporting this movie, great movie. So not just Evangelion, we keep supporting animation, manga, industry design, bunch of the creative workflow. So we keep brushing up our position of an instrument provider for this creative workflow by all means as technology leadership company. But on top of this creative workflow, there are so many use cases are emerging in education sectors, learning, studying, teaching, digital classroom, hybrid classroom, remote classrooms. Our product, our solutions are very, very, supporting this new teaching style, new studying style in the digital transformations in education sectors. So this is also very important aspect. We keep brushing up our technologies for education also. And another example is a Wacom solution supporting DX, digital transformations in public document workflow, writing in PDF, electronic boarding, many kinds of our digital transformation we are supporting. This is also the aspect which we are working on for technology leadership. Another examples, Wacom technology supporting Aes Pen, Galaxy Aes Pen for more than 10 years. This is an example how we are building up a very unique experience together with customers, together with partners in communities. So more than 10 years, we are supporting Aes Pen experience. Next example is a Lenovo with a world first foldable PC, which are supported by Wacom Pen and Touch technologies. This is great. This is a very world first foldable PC, and we are so proud we are supporting this product. And this is also not just by Wacom, with a display company, with partners, with customers, we are developing this brand new experience. Another example of the community engagement, this is works with Chromebook. So our pen tablet is compatible with a Chromebook, which is very, growing very heavily for education sectors. So there works with Chromebook. This logo is not just compatibility. It's not just showing a compatibility. It's showing our deep engagement with the Google Chromebook technology teams to optimize our writing drawing experience in Chromebook. Together is also Android ready solutions. So there you can connect with Android phone with our display tablet and you can use it. So these things we are working in technology level in Chromebook community or Android community to deliver the very unique experience for users. This example, a case study of Zetokai, who is a top education service provider in Japan. This is an example of how we are going to develop the new core technologies, AI collaborated with digital ink. So we are working with these education service guys, and of course we implemented our pen technology into their exclusive educational tablet, but not only just delivering a tablet hardware solutions. We are developing the application based on the Wacom software, and also next stage we are developing together the adaptive learning service experience. So capturing the students' context data, students' learning characteristics from the ink data, and we're trying to build up some adaptive learning service for each student. So these are an example of our new core technologies. And another example of our new core technologies is a creative lights initiatives, which we are going to talk with software engineers in detail. So this is the kind of a solution, technology plug-in software, how we can protect our creators, artists of their digital artwork, authenticate and protect and ensure their intellectual property. So these service is also we like to deliver as a part of our new core technology development. Another one is another example of a new core technology, XR and ink collaborations. Wacom VR fan we are developing. So prototype is ready. So I hope you can see some demo movie. There are displays showing users goggles view of the VR. So you can see there our Wacom VR fan is drawing in the air and it can ink definitely. So we're developing this device and experience in prototype stage, and toward next fiscal year, we like to deliver some commercialized solutions. And not only just our technology development for the business, we are working for the environmental care. Of course, as a corporate, we are working with climate change, joining in JCI for jointly working with other companies for climate change. And also we are establishing some very unique environmental friendly product development team in our engineering teams. I'd like to have some interview later with him, how we're going to make approach. So not just our expansion of business, how our technology can contribute to the sustainable society is another key initiatives, right? And representing the fifth key initiatives of the Connected Ink Village, I'd like to introduce later, So this is kind of our programs, which how we are engaging society. And this example is also same. The startup company called Heraldbony, Wacom collaborations. This startup company is really working on their some disabled artists, how we can perceive their output is as art and how we can return the benefit to the artists. So kind of implementing this system in society. We're collaborating with them, and we're trying to explore the brand new human expressions, through the art. So this is how we are trying to make approach for the meaningful growth, not just for the financial growth things. So, better growth image, it's of course the multi-dimensional growth we are targeting as meaningful growth, better growth image from financial perspectives. OP, operating profit wise, you can see, this image, the blue portion segment is coming from our current technology and current business model, mainly hardware sales. But starting from fiscal year 41, the green part is going to start ramp up. This green part is coming from the new core technology and new business model. So AI, XR, and security, all these things are coming with some new business model, subscriptions or license, royalty things, charge per seat business model. So if we put it together, maybe we can target double-digit growth across chapter 3 and chapter 4. So these are our kind of a growth image from financial perspectives. And also, we're trying to keep improving the management quality board. In this morning in Tokyo, we just got the approval from the shareholders for our board members. Keep brushing up these board members for transparency. We increased the outside director more than 50%, 55%, and high quality discussions level we are keeping. And also we invited the female outside director. So she's going to join from today. So to ensure the diversity. So we keep brushing up our board also as a management. So meaningful growth, again, so visions and 5 key initiatives and a whole bunch of project programs we like to pursue the financial growth and also multi-dimensional meaningful growth. So, and just as quickly as the first year of chapter 3, I like to very briefly talk about our guidance of the fiscal year 39 numbers. So it is baseline, the baseline scenario. So we have to implement some couple of risk, component shortage, some are market swing, and we also making investment for the chapter 3 technology development. So reflecting these things, looks like our year over year, it looks like our revenue operating profit is going down, but if you can see this chart, chapter 2, our operating profit is growing, and the last fiscal year is a record high. And you can see this 10 billion yen OP line. So for this fiscal year, we also, above that, and good starting point, 11 billion yen OP, a starting point, hitting the chapter 2 goal, 10 billion yen. And we are connecting to the next stage growth, as I mentioned, for the chapter 3 growth image. So these are kind of a growth image, which we are targeting. And our investment, we are going to put our 6 billion yen investment. Actually, this is a 29% growth from year over year. It's a kind of a massive investment for development of products and new technologies. So across the chapter 3. And how we are going to return to shareholders, the dividend, we are going to increase from 30.5 yen to 15 yen. So stable increase for the dividend. And as we made an announcement the last month, so we are going to do some buyback of our share for the next 4 years. Within the next 4 years, the limit is 10 billion yen scale. We are going to do some buybacks. So this is also how we'd like to return to shareholders. So these are just initial year of chapter 3, fiscal year 39 guidance. All right, then I'd like to move on the second part of these sessions. And here you can see some key questions. What is differentiated point of Wacom Pen technologies, and why customers, creators keeps loving our products, And what's the challenge when we are going to implement our technology to non-Wacom branded customers? What is the role of software? What is the role of service? What is the future of our software? So all these things, not just telling by myself. I like to do some one-on-one interview with the engineers who really developing all these technologies, and I like to deliver their passion and intent vision to shareholders, investors. All right, so we are ready. Let's start. Okay.
Can you please briefly explain what you normally work on? Yes, I am working on sensors to be used in EMR and the designing and development of the controlling substrate. What do you think? Why is Wacom so great in being loved by the customers for their products? As I spoke at the beginning, these EMR products are incorporated into the display or the screen. So to the electromagnetic noises, we are fighting against those noises. We want to operate EMR in the cleanest environment possible. And that, at the end, will be contributing to the performance of the pens. I see, so you're fighting with noise. Kobori-san, you're handling non-Wacom brands, but what are the difficulties that you're facing to provide the technology to other customers? The first difficulty is the fingerprint sensor in the display. The problem is this fingerprint sensor is at the behind the display. There's a hole in the digital sensor, and when there is a hole, the pen cannot be used, or the pen or the line written by the pen can bend. So I try many times to make sure that the users can write in a straight line, even if there is a hole behind it. There's been proposal from Samsung as well. We have been collaborating to improve the product. And as a result of that, we've been able to achieve this product. So because you need a fingerprint sensor, there will be a hole, but still you have to be able to write a straight line. Understood? Yes, the tablets also have fingerprint sensors. I turn it off and will recognize because there's a hole here. The hole is smaller, but still you can write in a straight line like this. So I was able to realize this after testing so many times. Writing lines in a straight line, it sounds quite natural, but there's been so much difficulties behind. Is there anything that you want to propose to the customers? The display will become even thinner and the frame will become smaller. And Wacom would like to provide the world's best performance, and that's really what I am happy about. So I would like to continue working on this aspect. So next team is, this team is working on Aes Active Electromagnetic. Based on the touch of your finger, the technology runs with the touch of the finger. Kadawaki-san, Sano-san. So what do you usually work on? The AES module team is working on pen and touch, realizing pen and touch using AES. IC sensor display system, all of them we optimize and deliver to the customers, both hardware and software. That's what we're doing. Okay, so will be implemented in PC and tablets? Yes. So what is this? This looks like a mini PC, but actually this you may already be aware of, but this is the world's first foldable PC. So this was what appeared in the presentation, the world's first foldable PC. You're working on the pen and touch for these PCs? Yes. touch also Wacom's pen is workable. But where the difficulties, because it can be folded, it's actually really thin, so the display and sensor are close together. And when that's the case, the signal can be small and there could be much noise. So operating is much more difficult in this environment. With Lenovo, we collaborated with the company to come up with this product. So even after 100 years from now, this will be the world's first product, foldable PC. Yes. Nomura-san, Wacom is working on touch as well. Can I show you? Nomura-san is going to show us. So now, there's water in here. I will spray water on the display more and more. I don't think many people would be spraying like this, but even with the water mist, the touch still works like this. While with so much water, still it works when you write with your fingers. Why can you do this? There's a software inside here, and this software can differentiate between water and finger. And when there's water, it recognizes that it's water, and we have made some special processing to be able to identify only the finger touch. So the Wacom's technology recognizes that this is water and this is finger or pen. The technology allows differentiation. Yes. So Wacom working on touch, the function will be improving this much. We are users, and at the same time, we are engineers. We bring to the market what we ourselves want to buy. So we try to make our devices much easier for the users to use, so the fight never ends. Nomura-san, when you come back home, you can tell your family members that I have made this. That's great. Please buy these products using the discounts for the employees. Yes, we'll do.
Let's ask Hisano-san as well. This is not our branded product. What do you do? Mr. Nomura and Kadawaki explained about internal ICs and Aes Pen's combined solution. But what I do is the pen with AES to be connected, the external device, and I'm working on the licensing business. So you're saying that Wacom's pen and Wacom's semiconductor A6 are combined. However, you're working on Wacom's AES together with our partners' semiconductors, right? Yes. Here, this is the tablet launched by Lenovo, and it doesn't include Wacom-made semiconductor, but oh, I'm sorry, somehow cursor doesn't move. But anyway, as long as this device detects our pen, that's good. When sometimes this happens, but well, this device is also having a system which can detect pens, Wacom's pen. This device includes the semiconductor not made by us, but great, this is an 84-inch screen and it doesn't have our own semiconductor, but still you can use Wacom's pen on this screen, right? And So you can use the same pen for all these devices. So let's try on this kind of folding PC. Yes, you can use this pen on this foldable device. And why don't you try on this device again? Well, somehow it doesn't work. But it works well on this screen. What sort of challenges do you have? I think you work together with different partners. Yes, I work together with the different touch device makers to develop, but touch IC makers, IC, have to communicate with our pens. And for communication, we have to create a communication method that these touch IC panel makers can easily receive. That was difficult. And once implementation is complete, we have to make sure that the 100% of the performance has been generated, and that was another challenge we had to face. So including the evaluation, you are trying to take a good care of our partners, right? Yes. So partners, the number of partners is increasing, so you can have broader range of papers in the future. So that was AES team. Now let's go to the next team, although there is only one person. Mechanical technology. Mr. Tanaka, what do you do? This is a new group. We are thinking about the new development which would happen in 1 or 2 years. And we used to have an electrical team, but now we are more focusing on mechanical part. And we also think about more sustainable topics for designing. And we are trying to accumulate know-how and expertise for sustainability. So you're working on eco-friendliness as well. Can you show us some of the examples? This was developed before our section. This is a cartridge pen, and the original module was miniatured into this size, and I really had this dream every night. So the one at the front was the original size, and then you made it so small. So because it became so small, it can be included in this pen. You see the black pencil. So it's like a refill lead for mechanical pencil. And then, yes, stationary customers can actually use our modules because of this size. So the development based on the sustainability focus, I think you've just started. What is your focus? And pen and tablet have a different approaches, but in the case of tablet display, we use the general recycling materials to evaluate risks to use that. And biomaterial, by the way, this is made of the agri waste that would be just burned, but we use this material. And when we try this, we actually benefit from the unexpected the advantages such as good textures or some good features. How about this pen? Now, when it comes to pen, the sustainable approach is more difficult. If it is for tablet, there are some standards in Japan, and there are some PC makers who are working on sustainabilities, but there is no case for stylus pen. So it usually requires the same amount of resin. But stylus has a different parts, mechanical parts, and these parts require transportation because we have to use different types of parts. So this transportation CO2 emission is huge, and the cost of transportation is relatively higher than the transportation fee. So we are more focusing on the longer product life so that people can continuously use And we believe that will be eco-friendly and contributing to sustainability. So what is it? And in related to that, we are making different approaches in the area of material for pens. And this was one example. We used paper tube. So just the same as the toilet papers tube. So we introduced this paper tube into a pen, and it's actually nice feel when you hold, and it's softer than mechanical pen, and its feel of writing is just the same, and holding is more comfortable with this material. Do you have any vision for the future? I am a pen engineer, and as a sustainable approach, I would like to have a design so that consumable parts could be replaced more easily. That would be my challenge for the future. Let's move on to the next section then. Mr. Koike, he is working on the development of Wacom's ICs. Hello. So you are developing our ICs, right? So can you explain? So yes, in one word, yes, I am making ICs. And Custom USI is the name of our group. So IC are made internally. So in-house production of IC, even if I said that, maybe this is precisely speaking, maybe it's not right. But we work together with the semiconductors to develop our ICs. Now, then you are showing this chart. What is it? So when I tried to describe the advantages of making semiconductors in-house. When we have to purchase all these parts to produce semiconductors, it's costly. So now we are trying to create semiconductors in-house, calling it a one-chip production. And if we do that, we can minimize noise, for example, or we can accumulate internal IPs, intellectual properties. So there are different advantages by making ICs internally. And is this the actual IC? Yes. On the right-hand side, you see the actual IC. This is touch IC. And even after several generations, 9 to 14 generations have passed, and maybe the 5th generation is coming to emerge, and it's becoming smaller. Yes, that's one evolution, and this is the only actual product, but this is how small it is. And this small chip includes so many things. And this comes from this silicon, and you cut a small chip out of this silicon plate, and then the chip includes many different parts in it.
And this is my pen case. Here, in this pen, there is ASIC. And if you want to use it in a pen, ASIC has to be thin as well, so it needs to be miniaturized. These are all Koike-san's? Yes, all the things that we have developed cannot be included in the pen set, pen case. So I have created a special case to have them all in there. So this is customized. Any functions that you want to add or anything that you want to do? What we were most happy about was that our technology was incorporated into the world's first foldable PC. What was most difficult is to fight with the noise. In the case of foldable PCs, in a very thin sensor you have to put in. So how to remove the noise was the challenge. The foldable PCs will become even thinner. So the fighting with this will never end. please produce semiconductors with even higher performance, and you're just married. Congratulations, Koike-san. So this is the last section for hardware. Nishizawa-san from Design Center. Nishizawa-san, you're always working on design. Yes, mainly Wacom branded products, the products that Wacom makes with Wacom logos. So Wacom designed products, the image of Wacom's pen that has a very strong image. From Nishizawa-san's perspective, Wacom's design, which direction will it be heading to? I think there are two directions. The first is users using Wacom's products. There are so many of them, and they are very much deeply involved in using Wacom products. And we're getting opinions, views from them. We gather those views, and we want to utilize them to the next gen products. And the second point is the trend globally has been changing, but at the same time, the entertainment sector or the form of art itself is changing. And this is an example. Wacom to draw pictures in the VR space. This is the VR pen that we want to propose. These products, we do not have many customers yet. So myself, as a designer, will be thinking about how these products should be designed. But in Wacom, in the company, there are many people who draw pictures as a hobby. So we try to reflect opinions and views from those people so that we can come up with a product that people have never seen before. That's great. We were also talking about sustainability or eco-friendliness from the perspective of design. What are the approaches that you can think about? Yes, I think material is really important. Oil-derived resins to be changed into plant-derived or recyclable materials. I think that's one way to go. On the other hand, because of the characteristics of our technology, it is difficult to eradicate all plastic materials. So we want to change to replace some of them to metals that can be recyclable. That can be one approach. And the products themselves, other than materials, like for example, one component, it breaks up. We want to make it possible that the part only can be replaced by returning it into the company, returning to the company. So not the product as a whole, but not only the product, but the packages to be delivered to the customers. We want to eliminate plastic from those packages as well. So, and have the products to be used in a longer life and disposables to be reduced. In that way, we want to achieve sustainability. So can be used for a longer life and easy to fix. That's the approach. Yes. So it took a bit of longer time, but the engineers of the hardwares, I brought you their passion and thoughts behind. One other thing is that Wacom is not just only providing hardware. We are combining both hardware and software to create our products. So now, on an online basis, we have the software engineers as well. We're a bit tight in the schedule, but now I would like to start speaking English.
So, hello guys. Hello guys, thank you for waiting. All right, so let's talk about our software. So maybe we talked a lot about the hardware, but our software is so important for Wacom experience. Maybe starting with Arthur. Hi, Arthur. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whichever. You're awake for 24 hours. Thank you. So Arthur, can you tell me, you're working for driver software. Can you tell me how driver software is so important for Wacom experience?
Yeah, so without the driver, Wacom would be completely dependent on the operating system and applications for how our products behave. Unlike other peripheral devices like mice and keyboards, which have a base level of functionality and no significant configuration, there's little agreement between the big application or OS vendors as to what the pen experience should be, what should be configurable or what features should be available. The driver increases the value of the hardware with a huge number of features and configuration options. These let customers do more with our products and customize them to fit their individual workflows. We need a driver so that our products have a consistent feel and predictable configurability between applications. To achieve this, we work with Microsoft, Apple, Google, as well as ISVs like Adobe, Corel, Autodesk, and many more to establish the best user experience possible. What's really exciting is that we're at the forefront in defining the expectations of a pen tablet. In fact, a large number of the features that we first implemented in the driver are now part of the default user experience across applications and platforms.
Great. Wow, so important. Great. And Arthur, we're also talking about a lot of our, work environment transformations. So creators, artists are not always getting together studio anymore, and they're working remote environment. So remote creation workflow. So how your driver software can help or contribute to this new working style, remote work environment? Yeah.
Well, two of the biggest factors and problems facing remote users are access to expensive hardware and software necessary and lag. We're tackling the first of these problems by developing technologies to support doing more on the cloud, enabling customers to create, save, and share their work with just a computer, a tablet, and an internet connection without the need for expensive hardware and software. As for lag, along with VM companies like Citrix and Teradici, we're developing an innovative solution within the driver to reduce latency by simplifying the communication path between the client and server, while enhancing the client side to give instant stroke feedback while the data is processed. What this means in practice is that in addition to speeding up the communication, making the whole thing faster, a remote user will see predictions of what their strokes will look like immediately, while the actual stroke data is sent to the server, processed, and returned to the client for rendering. This instant feedback makes it feel much more natural, like you're using it in a just a regular tablet attached to your regular computer.
Great. Seamless experience, local, host, or cloud. Great. Arthur, thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. And Portland is a crazy time, right? Midnight or early morning? So
it's about 2:20.
Okay. So after this session, please drink beer and go to bed. Thank you, Arthur. All right, good. So let's move on. So maybe next, Alex. Alex, hello.
Hello.
Thank you from Sophia. Actually, we talked about a lot about a digital ink, data set coming from this pen. And can you tell me briefly why, we need a digital ink and how it's interacting with the XR or artificial intelligence? We talked a lot. Could you tell me?
Yeah. Ink is everywhere. It is essential for us, and it's our lifelong companion. But digital ink is even richer and more diverse. It enables opportunities for expressing our creativity, and it's always with us on every single device. Every platform has all the tools we need, every pen, every brush and crayon, but that's just the regular stuff. With virtual and augmented reality, your ideas are no longer bound by the dimensions of our world. They expand your creativity and allow you to make artwork that was not possible before. As the creators of digital ink technology, we can also leverage the biometric and ink data and take a step further to analyze and extend the knowledge encoded in the digital ink through artificial intelligence and make it even richer.
Great. Alex, thank you. So digital ink is really literally it's kind of platforms for the whole bunch of the new experience, right? Great opportunity. Alex, thank you. Good morning from Sofia, right?
Yeah, good morning.
All right. So let's move on. Nikolai. Hey, good morning, Sofia again also.
Good morning. Yeah.
Nikolai, so Yeah, Alex talked about our digital ink, platforms, and we also talk about a lot of our, the semantic ink, how our technology can capture in education sectors of students' context, student learning characteristics. So can you tell me a little bit how Wacom unique semantic ink technology, enables this new experience?
Yes.
Yeah.
So semantic ink is basically digital ink enriched with the meaning of its contents. And it is smarter and it helps us to understand the concepts in our notes. Thanks to the public knowledge, the ink can be linked to online articles and provide solutions to math equations, for example, whereas private knowledge helps us to understand if we are writing about our friends or even tell apart our friends from our colleagues. With the help of AI, recognizing math equations could turn into recognizing chemistry and physics formulas and provide their solutions, where recognizing basic shapes could turn into recognizing complex shapes, like a drawing of a cat could be segmented into its eyes, head, paws, and tails. And also by having the words meanings and relations, a smarter semantic search could be used to find notes easily by searching for related concepts in our notes.
Great, Nikolai. So I think, it's a very, very essential technologies, and they're leveraging all these, semantic ink, our unique technologies. Nikolai, do you have some, vision, dream you like to share with shareholders? What do we like to do?
A virtual classroom with smart ink assistant powered by digital ink and AI is kind of a wild dream, and where students and teachers could be assisted in all sorts of ways by the technology. Another one is emotional recognition from digital ink data using AI again, in the aid of parents and teachers to better understand their children and students. And let's not forget the smart home domain, where custom gestures or symbols could turn on smart home events like light switching and timers and alarms. And that could be applied in 3D as well with mixed reality and Wacom's VR pen, for example.
Yeah.
Also, developing a technology that could potentially help to realize these dreams is exciting because we face a lot of uncommon and unresolved problems. And our technology helps to bridge the gap between our hardware and applications, and is a building block to other developers and engineers to use and realize their projects and ideas. Also, working with lower level technologies is more challenging and is more satisfying in the end.
Great, Nikolai. We have a big dream. Let's make it happen, right? Yeah. Thank you, Nikolai. Definitely. Great. So let's move on. So next, Josh, Chris. Hello, UK. You finished the morning coffee already? Hopefully. Okay. So let's talk about our CRI, Creative Rights Initiatives, which I talked a lot, how our technology can protect the designers, creators, artists, artwork, right? So maybe starting with Josh, can you tell me like the philosophy or basic approach, how we're going to protect the artist, Josh?
Yeah, sure, yeah. So our CRI technology uses the blockchain basically to anchor the ID or identity of an artist in a kind of secure but kind of digital way. So it's open, it's shared, everybody can see that ID. But we actually build it on top of a technology that's called self-sovereign identity, which is kind of like, if you understand, normally you have, you're logging with Facebook, or you log in with Google or Amazon or something like that, which means that they own your ID. The self-sovereign identity works that actually empowers the user themselves to own and control their identity. But for our CRI technology, what we've done is we've taken that concept and we've extended it to also include your artwork or any kind of piece of work you actually work. And what we actually do is we create an ID for those pieces of work themselves. So they're actually entities in their own right. And then we give the artist control of those works. So they can constantly link the artworks back to themselves and back to a anchor in the blockchain. So they can prove their link all the way through the actual life of the work itself. But we don't actually store that work on the blockchain. It's just the anchors we store on there.
Great, Josh. So actually, would be the Wacom unique approach, right? There are a lot of our, like a solution regarding our, their non-fungible token and the blockchain, but we are going to take our unique approach. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So yeah, although we are built on blockchain, you say there's been a lot of hype recently around non-fungible NFTs, as you say, but all of these kind of existing people in the market, they focus very much on the one piece and trying to sell that one piece out, whereas we actually kind of focus more on the creation of the piece and the kind of ownership and empowerment of that. So focusing, making it artist-centric and artwork-centric rather than just sort of being a one-off thing. Another actually a thing around the hype of NFTs recently, you'll notice that there's big ecological impact when people use kind of traditional proof of work blockchain systems. I mean, as an engineering team here, we think looking after the environment is a very important thing. So from the very first design things, we built it from the ground up to be a very energy efficient mechanism. So even though it's blockchain, we're using a different approach. We're using what's called a proof of authority approach. So it's got a very, very low kind of carbon footprint compared to traditional blockchain solutions like Bitcoin or Ethereum. Because we feel that's a really, really important key characteristic of the system itself.
Great, Josh. So it's always center is artists, creators, and how we're going to protect them. So maybe Chris, the leveraging our, philosophy approach, technology approach, which we are taking, as Josh mentioned. Hey, Chris, can you tell me actually what's a kind of a module, what's a plugin, how it's functioning? Can you tell me the Wacom unique CRI system, how it works?
Yeah. Sure. The uniqueness really comes from a combination of technologies. As Josh talked about, we've created a custom blockchain implementation to help with environmental impact, combine that with self-sovereign identity, and the last piece of the puzzle is our watermarking technology. So we've developed a series of SDKs which are able to watermark any rasterized image at the moment, whether it's illustration or photo or a sketch, and we can hide that identity within the image. It's hidden in such a way that human eye can't see it, but we are able to retrieve it further down the line if we need to. And basically what this means is that the artist can freely distribute that work without worrying that it's going to be mishandled. The watermark is resilient to cropping and compression and even changing the format of the file. They can always get back the history of that document, no matter where it is online. They can use our X-ray application to pull that information back out, and then we can traverse the blockchain to retrieve all of its history and its provenance.
Great, thank you. So I cannot wait for this. So we are now developing the prototype, and we are targeting to commercialize, in near future, right, Chris?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Working very hard at the moment.
Okay, great, thank you. I'm so confident. Great, thank you guys. Really appreciate. So I've done their interview with hardware engineers and software engineers and trying to deliver their passions. So now I'd like to take some questions from the shareholder investors who are joining online. Let me just take a look. Okay. All right. Good. So any questions? So let me just pick up some questions. So this question is, thank you very much. So we got a comment, the great engineers, hardware engineers, great software engineers we have, Wacom has, thank you. And how, each software engineers, hardware engineers are interacting and how they are collaborating, the questions came. So let me answer to these questions. So as I just introduced, yes, we have some hardware engineers, software engineers, service development engineers, and we are doing some global-based development. And honestly, when we got some project, we are going to organize some project teams. So whether it is in Japan or in Fulham, in Sofia, in Portland, we are going to be this one project teams. So the common and consistent goal and project milestones and collaborating online. Actually, before COVID, we working in very online environment. And so there's no boundaries of hardware, softwares. And the goal is same as all engineers said, how we can deliver the unique and differentiated and the best experience to users. So in that point, we are organizing the project team, program teams, and targeting for the common goal, and we are working together. Yes, good. All right, thank you. Are there any other questions from technologies or development things, whatever? Okay, so another questions regarding our environmental care programs. So as a Wacom, so like a climate change or living like CO2 issues, how Wacom is working for that things. So let me answer that questions. So as I mentioned, we really care the environmental things. And of course, for climate change, as I mentioned, we're joining some consortium and working together with other companies, trying to make a joint actions. And also as a Wacom, so we put our goal for the CO2 things, and year by year, we are disclosing how progress we are making. Also, not just like our environmental KPI, which I just mentioned, we also trying to make a Wacom unique approach from Wacom product perspectives or Wacom technology perspectives. So some couple of engineers already mentioned from technology level, how we can care the environmental, how we can deliver the new kind of element, how we can architect our product solution to let the product can be used for long terms. So these things are still homework for Wacom. And I don't think we can deliver the 100% right answers in a one shot. So I like to say, I like to share our progress. I like to share where we are right now. And I also like to share how many more we have to go. By sharing the progress or status with customers, with users, with society, I think we can create some feeling we are proceeding together. So this is how we like to do as a Wacom unique approach. And also some very small things. So the kind of a desk which I'm using right now, a holder, shelves, product shelves. You've seen the engineers introducing some products. All these shelves are coming from some waste of the wood. So we are not going to just throw away the woods. So yes, thank you for the camera. Like this desk, it's made of some thrown away woods, and we're not going to just throw away. We're going to keep using. So this is the same concept how we are making approach through our product and technologies. So this is small programs, but as a corporate, we like to make this approach. Great. Thank you. Any questions? Looks like fine. All right. So I just like to make some closing, the comment, and also just introducing a little bit about this Connected Ink Village, which I'm broadcasting from here. So targeting meaningful growth, we are, establishing Connected Ink Village. Actually, this is general in corporate associations, how we can sustainably support art, technology, and education, which are very important factors for human beings and society. So here's a village. We open up Wacom office space to the communities. Many engineers, artists, education guys can get together for the joint collaborations. And as I mentioned, we are going to popping up for this village concept all over the world. Düsseldorf, Portland, Beijing, Kyoto. So, we like to do the joint innovation, joint action in community, leveraging this village space. So as how we are going to use, just a snapshot, doing some live show, live talk, live drawing, broadcasting from here. Sometimes the seminars. Oh, it's not a Wacom seminar. It's somebody's, the village residents guy can use this, whole village. It's doing some seminars, and sometimes they are creating some performance show or some performance artwork or some night view is very, beautiful. Everybody getting together for the, discussing something. And we also have our tatami room, washitsu, and a tea ceremony also can be possible for Japanese culture-wise. So all these things are, almost like a chaotic situation, but we call this creative chaos. And for talking about creative chaos, we having some annual event called Connected Ink event every year, annual event. So this year, Connected Ink 2021 is coming on November 16th, 17th. More creative chaos, different culture, diversified industry, different category guys are getting together and trying to explore jointly what's a new experience we can deliver, what's a new thing we can find, and how we can learn each other's. So from this creative chaos. So we are going to have a very, very interesting event, which is hybrid, online and offline together. So please check it out. And through this event, we also like to send a message from Wacom, not just for their financial growth, but how we can explore the meaningful growth for the human beings and society. So this is a final message from me. So I think it's good enough. All right. So thank you for spending time together with us. I hope we can deliver some aspect of Wacom. And, we are working hard and we are doing best. And we're also trying to enjoy together with partners, customers, and shareholders, investors for this upcoming Chapter 3 days. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, guys. Thank you, Wacom team members. Thank you, supporters. So let's see each other someday. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate. Bye-bye.